What up, world? Established Rich coming right back at you. DJ Vlad was talking to academics about people he don't rock with no more. And the reason he gave had me sitting there like, Vlad, who the hell you think you is? Because he basically feels like if he puts you on VladTV, you should turn around and put him on your platform. And I hear him talking about Piers Morgan, Angela Yee, and this idea of reciprocity. And yes, I understand what the word means. What I don't understand is why Vlad thinks two completely different things have the same value.
You know, I don't Angela Yee anymore because it's like,
Angela Yee?
I did her show so many times. Like I used to do Sirius XM over and over again. I did the Breakfast Club hella times. And for the past year,
you know what? I have a theory.
For the past year, I was like, hey, listen, I'm coming to New York. I want to get her on my show and I'll do her show also. Oh, she's really busy this week, blah, blah. For a whole year, she's really busy. Oh, really? So if Usher showed up in town, she'd be busy? Nah, she just doesn't want to do my shit. And I take that a little bit personally because it's like I did your so many times.
Yeah.
And I asked for one appearance and for a year I get to run around. All right, cool. I get it. I get the hint.
To the Breakfast Club, but like me showing up to your podcast, I got way more important things to do.
All that. I don't play that. Charlamagne has been on my podcast a bunch of times. Envy has been on my podcast multiple times. And now Just Hilarious has been on my podcast as well. Like I expect payback, across the board. Now it doesn't, this is why I stopped doing Piers Morgan. Like, if you remember, I used to be on Piers Morgan all the time. Yeah. And then it was like, hey, I'm trying to get Piers. He's really busy right now.
Piers is going to hit you.
Yeah, next month, check back with us. Next month comes around. Oh, he just got in that operation, blah, blah, blah.
Wait, so even with Piers, you were trying to do the reciprocal thing.
But then it's like, Piers wants you back on the show tomorrow. Can you change your,
yeah.
And with Piers, it's like they got to send the van and I got to change my schedule and I got to go in this van and I got to wait and so forth. And after doing a show, 4 or 5 times, and I would show out on the show. Remember me and
you got into
Busby?
You got into
a gaming match on his show, on his platform, which went super viral. I heard Jay-Z loved it and everything else like that. I'm not going to say, Morgan, but I'm saying you can't keep getting people on your show, and they have big platforms as well. And I seen you do Breakfast Club when you're in New York, but you never do my show. This dude and me and him, we got into a big you back and forth. It was like, tell me the N-word. I know you want to. And I'm like, what are you talking about, bro? I got more black kids than you do. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, that's the best you got. He goes, oh, you racist. You don't own me. I said, we don't own each other. I did your show. I flew out, did your show on my own dime. I'm already in your city. I'm just asking you to show up. You told me you would do it. And now you give me that run around. So anyone doing N.O.R.E show, just know that when it comes to return the favor, he's not going to do it.
Yeah.
Start charging N.O.R.E to do champs from now on. Because know that when it comes, in return, he's going to you. N.O.R.E's about N.O.R.E. His word don't mean snake. That's the way I look at it. I don't N.O.R.E anymore.
This is where Vlad lost me. When Angela Yee goes on VladTV, Angela Yee is the content. When Piers Morgan goes on VladTV, Piers Morgan is the content. When Vlad goes on somebody else's show, the question becomes, what exactly are we booking Vlad for? And I'm not saying Vlad has no talent, because clearly you cannot build a platform as big as his without having talent. But that don't automatically make you the talent somebody else's audience wants to see. That is the part that is confusing. It would be like a great restaurant owner saying, I let Beyonce eat at my restaurant, so why won't she give me free tickets to a show? Angela Yee coming on Vlad can help Vlad because people know Angela Yee. She has stories. She has a career. She's been on the radio for years. She has interviewed damn near everybody, and people like to hear what she says. Now flip that around. If Angela Yee has her own show and she's sitting in a production meeting saying, who should we have on next? Why does she have to say DJ Vlad just because she went on his podcast? That ain't a favor she owes you. That was business. You wanted her on your platform because you knew it would bring attention. That was a business transaction. You don't get store credit. And that is why this whole reciprocity thing sounds weird to me. Vlad is talking like appearing on VladTV put somebody in his debt. And I don't think that's how media works. If I invite somebody on EstablishedRich tomorrow and they give me a great interview and it does numbers, I got something out of that too. I got content, I got views, I got watch time, I got something to post, and I got a chance to grow my platform. I didn't do charity. So I can't turn around 6 months later and say, hey, remember when I let you come on my show? Now let me come on yours. And Piers Morgan makes this even funnier to me because Vlad says he stopped going on Piers' show after he felt like Piers wouldn't return the favor. But think about that from Piers Morgan's side. If he don't make sense, why would they book you just because Piers went on VladTV? That would actually be bad producing. You don't fill your show with people because you owe them. You book people because you believe your audience will watch them. And I think Vlad's numbers may have him confusing the value of VladTV with the value of him as a person. Those are not necessarily the same thing. VladTV is huge because of the library of people Vlad has interviewed. Rappers, actors, street figures, athletes, comedians, media people, damn near everybody. Vlad is the person asking the questions. And it ain't nothing wrong with that. But if you remove the guests and just put Vlad in the chair, now you have to ask if people are tuning in because they want to know about Vlad. That is a completely different question. Think about the Breakfast Club. Charlamagne can go anywhere as a guest because his name brings viewers. You can build an interview around him. Same with Angela Yee. She didn't just sit there while other people were pushing buttons. She spent years as an on-air personality and later launched her own radio show. That's why I don't think this is gold for gold. This is like gold for silver. Vlad is looking at it like, I gave you my platform, now give me yours. But what he actually gave them was access to his audience because he believed they could provide content his audience wanted to watch. They paid him back by doing the show. That was the exchange. And here's another thing Vlad should understand better than anybody. He don't book every person who's ever helped him. He books people he thinks are interesting. So why shouldn't Angela Yee get to make the same decision? Why shouldn't Piers Morgan? Why shouldn't the Breakfast Club? You can't spend your whole career treating media like a business and then getting your feelings when somebody else treats your appearance like a business decision. That is where you start sounding entitled. I think when you build something as big as VladTV, it is easy to feel like the success of the platform should transfer to you. But sometimes the person who owns the stage is not the person that people bought the tickets to see. That don't make the owner less successful. Sometimes the owner is making more money than the stage, but it's still a different job. Sometimes business ain't 50-50 the way your ego wanted to be. Maybe somebody has something you need more than they need something from you. That doesn't mean you are less than them. It just means the value is different in that particular transaction. And smart business people understand that. Every relationship don't have to be, I did this, now you do that. Sometimes you take the opportunity because the opportunity makes sense. And if it stops making sense, you walk away. But don't call somebody disloyal because they didn't give you a job they never promised you. That's why Vlad sounds ridiculous to me. Not because he isn't successful and not because his platform isn't big. He is just confusing the value of the platform with the demand for him as a guest. Those are two different things. And if Vlad really wants people to book DJ Vlad instead of just wanting access to VladTV, then give him a reason. But you can't send somebody an invoice for a favor that was really a business transaction between the both of y'all. That ain't reciprocity. That's keeping score. And business gets real miserable when you start keeping score on everybody who came through the door. But hey, that's just my opinion. What's yours? Like, comment, subscribe. EstablishedRich. I'll be back with another one. Yeah.